All righty. Good morning, Arundel County. Welcome to today's delegation meeting, Friday, February 6th. We're going to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance of Prayer offered by Delegate Congolo. Delegate Congolo, I'm going to turn it over to you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, as we end another week of working for our communities and working for you, we thank you for the opportunity to serve with the responsibility that has been entrusted in us by our communities. We ask for your guidance and wisdom in every decision we make. Cover us in your precious blood, providing us with strength and protection as we advocate for those we represent. Help us remain steadfast in our commitment to justice and that our work is not just for ourselves, but for the well-being of all. In your name we pray. Amen.
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 Amen. Thank you, Delegate Congolo, for the prayer and pledge this morning. Before we get started, I wanted to see if there were any guests. I know we have a few LBI presenters, and I believe I see Dr. Tobin from the school board. I don't know if there's any other school. Oh, Dana Schellheim. I'm sure there'll be others that will be joining us. We want to welcome them here today. And of course, I know they'll probably be testifying. And then we have other folks, obviously, from the county exec office and the Anne Arundel County Board of License Commissioners. So let's get right into business. Before we do that, though, I do want to remind everybody, we have votes for a bill, and then we have bill hearings. And this is just a reminder to the sponsors. We generally follow the same rules that we have in committee, where it's really untimed for the sponsor and then 2 minutes for witnesses. So we want to stick to that rule. We have a very aggressive agenda. And as you know, I like writing move and expedient meetings with respect and dignity. So I hope that you'll be patient with me today because we have a lot here. So welcome to our guests. And we're going to take roll call first. Mr. Secretary, please take roll call for today. Thank you.
There's roll calls for delegation meeting 6 February 2026. Vice Chair Simmons.
Present.
Speaker Peña-Melnick.
Present, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Delegate Bagnall.
Present.
Delegate Barnes. Delegate Bartlett. I believe Delegate Bartlett will be a little late. Delegate Baylor.
Here.
Delegate Chang.
Here.
Delegate Chisholm.
Here.
Delegate Howard.
Here.
Delegate Jones.
Present.
Delegate Kipke is excused. Delegate Lehman.
Present.
Delegate Congolo.
Present.
Delegate Rogers.
Here.
Delegate Smith.
He should be here in a minute. I just resent the link.
All right, Delegate Smith is coming back on. All right, Chairman Pruski.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, we have quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I appreciate the roll call, and we're going to move right into business. We have HB 606, which was heard last week. It is the Anne Arundel County Residential Property Tax Payment Permit Deferrals Eligibility. I didn't know if the sponsor wanted to add any additional information. If not, this is up for a vote today.
No additional information unless anyone had questions.
Great. Are there any questions or any motions on this bill? This is now eligible for a vote.
I make a motion that we adopt HB 606.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. We have a motion on the floor for HB 606, Anne Arundel County Residential Property Tax Payment Deferrals Eligibility Bill. We have a motion that's been properly moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please take the roll call.
This vote on 6 February 2026 is for House Bill 606, Anne Arundel County Residential Property Tax Payment Deferrals Eligibility. Vice Chair Simmons.
Yes.
Speaker Peña-Melnick.
Yes.
Delegate Bagnall.
Yes.
Delegate Barnes. Delegate Bartlett. Delegate Baylor.
Yes.
Delegate Chang.
Yes.
Delegate Chisholm.
Yes.
Delegate Howard.
Yes.
Delegate Jones.
Yes.
Delegate Kipke, excused. Delegate Lehman.
Yes.
Delegate Congolo,
Yes.
Delegate Rogers,
Yes.
Delegate Smith,
Yes, if you can mark me present. Had a little delay getting in today.
yes, we have you.
Thank you, sir.
Chairman Pruski.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, by a vote of 13-0 with 1 excused and 2 absent, the bill passes.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We are going to have a slight change to the agenda at the request of Chair Bagnell. I know that she has to go to another meeting and she's presenting a bill. So I hope with your patience and kindness here, we'll move her up on the agenda because of her other duties. So HB 436, Anne Arundel County Board of Education member compensation and student member scholarship increase. Again, she is the sponsor, and then if she has any witnesses, we'll give them 2 minutes, and hopefully Roger and Jen can help with the timer. So Delegate Bagnell, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the courtesy. Good morning to my fellow delegation. For the record, Delegate Heather Bagnell here in strong support of House Bill 436, Anne Arundel County Board of Education member compensation and student member scholarship increase. Anne Arundel County is now the 4th largest jurisdiction in our state. And while salaries for other school districts have increased and we have increased marginally, Anne Arundel County really has not kept pace with the rest of the state and with the size of our school system. I think everyone in our delegation understands the reality that this part-time job is a full-time commitment, and we have committed, hardworking professionals who pour their time and attention into ensuring our children, our teachers, staff, and communities have what they need to keep Anne Arundel County at the top of the class. However, if we wish to remain competitive and to attract the best talent and ensure a diverse pool of candidates, we have to increase the salaries. Anne Arundel County conducted a survey of salaries, and even with this increase, we remain squarely in the middle. House Bill 436 seeks to increase the salaries of our school board members to $23,000 a year, the vice president to $24,000, and the president to $25,000. Additionally, it would increase the scholarship for the student member from $15,000 to $23,000 beginning in 2029. Our school board plays an essential role in our county, from policy decisions to community engagement, budgetary decisions to prioritization, and we want to ensure we are respecting that work. House Bill 436 is not a leap, but it is simply a small step in the right direction. And for these reasons, I ask for a favorable report, and I will turn it over to my esteemed panel.
Thank you, Delegate Bagnell. I do believe, do you have 2 people that are testifying? I just want to make sure.
Yes, we have Joanna Tobin and Dana Schallheim from our school board, our 2 longest serving elected members.
Great. So why don't we start with Dr. Tobin first for 2 minutes, and then we'll go right into Ms. Schellheim, if that's okay. You may begin.
Thank you, Chairman Pruski. Good morning, everyone. I'm Joanna Tobin. I represent Councilmanic District 6 on the Board of Education for Anne Arundel County and have done since 2020. I was reelected in 2024. I'm here to thank all of you, first of all, for allowing us to speak, to thank Delegate Bagnell for sponsoring this bill, and to urge a favorable report on HB 436. There's very little to add to what Delegate Bagnell said. Everything is captured, I think, in her comments. I will only say from my personal experience on this board through what have been very turbulent times, and I think there's very little to tell us we won't continue to go through turbulent times in education, that we particularly need at this time to attract the most committed, talented people to come onto our Board of Education. If you don't already know, you should know, I am term limited. I will be done in 2028. I am here to advocate for those who will come after me. I want to make sure that the board members that come to represent my district and all the districts of this county moving forward fully reflect this county. And as of now, most individuals cannot afford to give the amount of time that is required to genuinely do the work that this job requires based on the compensation we receive. And therefore, you essentially have to have people who have the independent means. And while no one should ever take public office for money, we have to be reasonable about what we are compensating people for, including the student member who does an incredible amount of work. I see my time is up. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time, and thank you all for the work you do.
Thank you, Dr. Tobin. You hit it right on the mark there. I like that. Thank you. Appreciate you coming. Ms. Schelheim.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Chair Pruski, Vice Chair Simmons, Speaker Pena-Melnick, and the Arundel delegation. My name is Dana Schelheim. I represent District 5 on the Board of Education and have done since 2018. I am the longest serving elected member of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to address you this morning in support of better compensation for the Board of Education of Anne Arundel County. And thank you to Delegate Bagnall for sponsoring this bill. I respectfully request a favorable report. Before I begin, I want to make clear to this delegation that this is not about me. It's not about Dr. Tobin, and it's not about Mr. Silkworth. We are all termed out at the end of our current term, which ends December 2028. Instead, this is about future board members. Offering higher or better compensation makes the position more accessible and appealing to a wider range of individuals, including those who cannot afford to volunteer for what can be a significant time commitment, sometimes equivalent to a full-time job. Increasing compensation can help remove financial barriers for people from lower income backgrounds, parents of school-age children, and members of historically marginalized groups. This can lead to a board that better reflects the racial and socioeconomic makeup of the community and the student body it serves. School board members often face a heavy workload, including preparing and attending numerous meetings, our public business meetings, our closed sessions, committee meetings, attending school system events. I could be out every night of the week if I wanted to. Engaging with community members and going to conferences. We provide oversight and governance, supervise the superintendent. We make complex policy decisions. We approve a budget which currently stands at $1.9 billion for the operating budget and $231 million for the capital budget. A higher compensation formally recognizes the substantial time, expertise, and dedication required. Oh,
Just
I didn't
finish up,
get through
Michelle.
all of it, but I tried.
That's okay. Thank you so much for both of you for your service. And what we're going to do now is turn it over to questions for the sponsor or the panel with Delegate Chisholm.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one quick question. Why are we taking this up now? We have 2 more legislative sessions, and I only ask that because things change quickly, and you might want more. I don't know. I'm just curious if there's a reason logistically why we're taking it up now.
Well, I don't want to answer for the sponsor, but I can certainly speak. Go ahead, Chairwoman.
I was going to say, because I think it's an important conversation that we have now, because to Dr. Tobin's point, we need to be keeping pace with our other jurisdictions, and we need to be making sure that these are, that we are already attracting talent. We have 3 members of the board that are term limited, who will not be able to serve who will not be able to run and serve in the future. And we want to make sure that that we are attracting talent now to consider these positions. I don't disagree that we might want more, but we need to get this done now to even have that first step.
I got it. So I guess your thought process is this might help to begin to attract people this early on. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Delegate and Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Delegate Lehman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the sponsor, Delegate Bagnall, for your leadership on this issue. I am fully supportive of the legislation. Thank you, Dr. Tobin and Ms. Schalheim, for your testimony. Very compelling. I just have a question not about the actual pay, but whether school board members can get health insurance or other benefits through Anne Arundel County, because they do in Prince George's and some other counties. So I was curious about that.
No. I'm sorry to jump in, Delegate Lehman, but no, the answer is no. And also to add something else that we didn't have time to get, we don't have staff either, and we don't have offices. So I just, to give you the full package. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
thank you for that.
I was going to say all of that too. Thank you.
Okay. No, and thank you, because that gives, I think, a lot more context to this conversation, Mr. Chair and colleagues. I would be strongly supportive, personally, going forward, of legislation to allow school board members to get health insurance through the county. I think, to your point about wanting to attract the best and brightest and folks that have to make financial decisions, because let's face it, 22, 23, 24, 5,000 still is not a lot of money for what can be very much a full-time job. But to add, to make it more attractive, I think significantly would be to have health insurance go along with that. And you'd expand that pool of candidates for the board. So thank you for that. And thank you again for this bill.
Thank you, Delegate Lehman. Delegate Jones?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Actually, my dear friend, Delegate Lehman, and I were on the same wavelength there. I was going to ask about staff, and I was going to ask about office. I was going to ask about insurance. Isn't that so? And so with that, approximately how many constituent emails, and this is to either or both, approximately how many constituent letters, emails, and phone calls approximately do you have to respond to on any given week?
I don't know if my colleague wants to jump in ahead of me. Because we don't have constituent services people, we don't necessarily track that as closely as we might. I can only tell you multiple per day, every day, 7 days a week. And that's as it should be. Right. This is, but no, it's all goes directly to us, and each of us are responsible for the responses. We have one executive assistant for the Board of Education. She has one administrative assistant, but her job is effectively to run the business of the Office of the Board of Education, not to function as our individual assistants. And so.
Well, thank you for that answer. I will be honest with you, in talking with constituents on issues around the Board of Education and our school system, it is the presumption of our shared constituency that you do work full time, that you have someone that could also call back or come in lieu of. And I often have to say that's actually not the case. So I want to thank both of you so very much. Thanks to the bill sponsor.
Thank you. I want to give a second here to make sure there's no other hands or anyone else that had any questions or comments related to this bill. Okay, seeing no further action, HB 436 will be moved to next week with a vote or any amendments. We're going to continue on our agenda. And thank you to the sponsor and panel members for being here today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. HB 339, Anne Arundel County Board of License Commissioners, Chief Inspector Compensation, Vice Chair Simmons.
Outstanding. Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the record, Delegate Gary Simmons introducing Anne Arundel County Board of License Commissioners, Chief Inspectors Compensation. This bill increases the minimum and maximum salary amounts for the chief inspectors employed by the Board of License Commissioners for Anne Arundel County, and generally relating to alcohol beverages in the Board of Licensing Commissioners for Anne Arundel County. The rationale behind and beyond for the request, in which will be provided by the Anne Arundel County Liquor Board. The Anne Arundel County must remain competitive in their compensation for employment. Obviously, we're just talking about that. I am going to turn it over to the panel. I just want to say to the membership, obviously, we spoke about this last year. It was a lot of great conversation around it. The board have had the opportunity to meet with each of us and also make necessary corrections based on the request of this delegation. So I turn it over to the licensing board at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not sure who was speaking on behalf of the license board as a witness, but I'll turn it over to you guys. And remember, it is 2 minutes a piece per person, and try and be brief and to the point. We have a lot of bills here, but as long as you can highlight the points, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Abraham Hurdle, counsel for the Anne Arundel County Board of License Commissioners. The bill here, and I think we did a bunch more research this year than we had last year. The goal is to keep the position a competitive pay. We're not planning to increase the salary for this individual directly at this time. We did the research that we've done indicates that elsewhere in the state, this position would pay in the neighborhood of twice as much as we are currently offering. And it would be equivalent to an NR 15 or higher. We did further research with Anne Arundel County, and that research indicated that they would classify the position as an NR 15. The research also indicated that currently there is one person in Anne Arundel County who is at a grade 8 and no one below that besides our chief inspector at a grade 5. He is on call 24 hours a day. I know that I have personally called him deep into the evening on a Friday or a Saturday. He always takes that call. He has to drive to site locations to verify what's going on in case there's some sort of crisis. And he is generally always available. And that's the goal with both his position and him, as opposed to anybody who may have that position in the future. Again, the goal is just to make this position salary competitive. This would give us room to potentially give him raises or this position raises in the future. And again, keep it competitive with other locations, other jurisdictions in Maryland. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to address them at this time.
Thank you. Is there any other witnesses? I don't think so. I think we're good representing the board. So I'm going to open it up to questions. Delegate Chisholm.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Took me a second. Hey, just real quick, I want to thank Mr. Hurdle and the board sincerely for this summary you guys sent. This was outstanding. It's helpful. Obviously, I had some consternation with this raise last year. Once again, it's not personal. I probably won't vote for it, but I just want to tell you, I really respect and appreciate that you guys took the time to explain why and went through it all, and then give us a summary, not just for this bill, but for the rest of the bills. And that's really all I wanted to say. It wasn't really a question, but I just want to say thank you for taking the time to break this all down and meet with us all independently.
Thank you, Delegate Chisholm.
We appreciate the opportunity.
Delegate Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Similarly, I certainly want to thank the board for reaching out and having a dialogue about this particular bill. I'm trying to get a better understanding of, so a couple questions. So I know last year I thought there was legislation that moved it to, it's saying NR5. I thought it was moved to like an NR7 or NR8. Did that not happen? And then you can answer that, and then
Sure. My apologies, Delegate. Last year there was my understanding was there was a compromise proposal to an NR6, and I think at that point the board decided not to pursue the legislation at that time.
Okay. So it was an increase was approved, but then the board decided not to go forward. So in terms of actual what the dollars represent, so what's the NR 15 pay scale?
I believe it runs from roughly $60,000 to about $117,000 is my understanding.
So up to 117,000.
I believe that's the top of the NR 15, correct?
Okay, and what's the top of the NR 5?
I believe it's like 62,000 or 58, 67,000. My apologies.
So the NR 5 is 67,000.
Correct.
And the NR 15 is I'm sorry again. I'm
It
writing
would
it
be
down.
about 117,000.
117,000.
Correct.
110 or 117?
It's 110.
110K. Okay. It's 62 now. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions regarding this bill? All righty, we're going to continue on. HB 874, Anne Arundel County Board of License Commissioners alterations. This is Delegate Simmons.
Once again, thank you, Mr. Chair. For the record, Delegate Simmons on HB 874. Obviously, this bill is another one that we addressed last year, was voted out of committee as well, pertaining to the expansion of the board, extending the board to 5 members that can get a better cross-section of Anne Arundel County diversity. This was voted out last year. Obviously, there was some setback with the governor's office, and at this point, speaking with Senator Lamb, that all those concerns was worked out. The governor will pick appointees from the list of Anne Arundel County delegation. This was in the bill last year, making clear the governor can ask for the delegation to supply a new list. This is also to be addressed, a clarity question from the governor. As well, we have on the phone, I believe, let's see, Scott, I think it's Scott or Senator Lamb on here for federal questions in reference to the bill itself.
All righty, thank you, Delegate Simmons. Are there any questions in relationship to HB 874, the Anne Arundel County Board of License Commissioners alterations? Okay, moving along the agenda, Mr. Vice Chair, I'm going to turn it over to you for the next
Outstanding.
section because I'll be presenting the other bills.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. At this time, we'd like to have you go ahead and present on the next bill, House Bill, let's see, House Bill 512.
Thank you, Vice Chair Simmons. So for the record, Delegate Andrew Pruski, I am on record here today for HB 512 on behalf of the Anne Arundel County License Board of Commissioners. This bill adjusts the annual salaries and provides a cost of living increase for the chair, certain part-time inspectors, and other members of the board. The rationale and data for this change will be provided by witnesses today. As stated, I want to reiterate what Delegate Chisholm said. I thought the memo, which included the rationale and the independent review by Anne Arundel County HR, really provided some great background and data in relationship to this, but I do want to turn it over to the Board of License Commissioners if possible. Mr. Vice Chair.
Outstanding. Who will be presenting first?
I'll be presenting Abraham Hurdle, counsel for the board. Thank you, Chair and Vice Chair. The goal with this bill is to adjust the salaries for the part-time inspectors as well as the chair and other commissioners on the board. The commissioners have not seen an increase in their annual salary since 2007, and the part-time inspectors have not seen an increase since 2020. As a result, we have asked for an 18% increase, which is significantly lower than what we have calculated as the inflation index. If we followed inflation, the part-time inspectors would have gone from about $7,000 per year to about $8,700 per year. We're asking, I believe our proposal was for $8,260. So we're under that by about $500. The chair position, which is $18,000 under the current rules, would go from $18,000 to $28,000. Our proposal is to take that up again, 18%, which is a significantly lesser increase. We also have asked to tie those increases going forward to a COLA with the county so that we don't have this situation where we're kind of always a few years behind potential, or in this case, nearly 2 decades behind the increases going forward. Again, the goal is to keep these positions competitive. Much like this situation with the school board, these are people who put in significant amount of time, they put in a lot of work, and the goal is to make sure that they're compensated fairly. My position is anytime a position doesn't have a salary tied to a COLA or cost of living adjustment, it's effectively a pay decrease year in and year out. And again, with the commissioners, it's been roughly 20 years nearly since they've had an increase that's come up in any capacity. I'm happy to answer any questions. Oh, and my apologies. This does not affect our budget. We can cover these costs entirely. No increases in fees will be necessary.
Outstanding. Thank you for your testimony. I see we have Delegate Howard.
Yeah, just real quick, you said it's an 18% raise across the board for the inspectors and the what'd you say, chief inspector?
On this bill, it's just the part-time inspectors, the deputy chief, the commissioners, and the chair. The previous bill was the chief inspector.
All right, but okay, but you said who's going from 18 to 28?
It's not 18 to 28. 18 to 28 is what it would be if it had followed inflation since 2007. It's going from 18, I believe, to 21 is the number.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's it. The math wasn't mathing for me, so I was just asking.
And we wanted to make sure that we had a reason for the 18%, which is, again, significantly lower than what it would be if it was based on the inflationary numbers.
Yeah, okay. I thought I misheard it, so okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you also remind us of how many part-time employees y'all have and at what hours do they operate?
19. We have 19 part-time inspectors.
And
They
what is
work
their
5 hours per week?
5 hours per week? Okay. All right. Any further questions from the delegation at this time? Seeing no further questions, thank you. Moving on, next to House Bill 519, Delegate Pruski.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Moving along to 519, this is Anne Arundel County Alcoholic Beverages Entertainment Permits. Again, for the record, Delegate Andrew Pruski. HB 519 alters the titles of certain entertainment permits for certain alcoholic beverages license holders in Anne Arundel County. This changes the description of each tier to more accurately reflect the use. Rationale and supporting arguments will be provided by the witnesses today here from the Board of License Commissioners. To be clear, the intent of this bill is to clarify language and address any ambiguity related to entertainment permits. And I'll turn it over to the License Board of Commissioners to give kind of more detail. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Abraham Hurdle on behalf of the Board of License Commissioners. As the chair indicated, this is simply a clarification modification. The current tiers of entertainment are in many ways very confusing, not just to potential licensees, community members, but also the attorneys who practice before us. We have situations where things are just always getting kind of complicated for reasons that shouldn't be. This ultimately clarifies the language, makes it easier to understand, and makes it a little bit better for, again, all parties involved to understand what level of entertainment they should have given their particular use. This is something that benefits everybody. It is revenue neutral, and it should prevent licensees from having to come back on numerous occasions to refile for the proper tier of entertainment for their use. It does not change any sort of setbacks or distance requirements that are currently in place from residential and or churches and schools. Everything with regards to that stays the same. It just makes it a little more, it makes it easier to understand the various rules and regulations.
All right, thank you. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, thank you. Moving on, the House Bill 522, Anne Arundel County Alcohol Beverage Licenses, Class C, per diem license fee. Delegate
Thank you,
Pruski.
Mr. Vice Chair. Appreciate it. Again, Delegate Pruski for the record, introducing 522, which alters the license structure for Class C per diem beer, beer and wine, and beer, wine and liquor license issued by the License Commissioners. Again, the rationale and witnesses will provide today. I think this is once again a cleanup and clarity in regards to the structure. And I'll turn it over to the Board of License Commissioners.
Thank you, Abraham Hurdle, on behalf of the Board of License Commissioners. Currently, the Board of License Commissioners issues roughly 1,600 one-day beer, wine, or beer, wine, and liquor permits each year. There are 11 events a year that have more than one point of sale, and in our opinion, use a significant amount of resources. Those 11 events have multiple locations where they're selling alcohol, as opposed to, say, one location where there is a bar. As a result, the resources required to inspect, verify, and maintain order at those locations is significantly burdensome to the board. And as a result, we're trying to tie the cost of the one-day licenses to the number of point of sale locations. If you have an event that has 6 bars, you're going to pay for, it'll be adjusted up to a 6 locations. In this case, the last time the fee was increased on one-day licenses was 2009, where it went from $10 to $25, and I believe it was 25 to 50. We're not increasing the fee for the one-day license. It's simply a situation where the 11 events that have more than one point of sale will be tasked with paying for a one-day license for each point of sale location. Again, this is reflective of the resources required to inspect and verify those locations following the law.
Sure, thank you. I know last year we spoke about this a little bit. Can you explain a little further about the number of staff that y'all have at these events due to the fact that you have multiple point of sales and how large the events are?
Absolutely. So with regards to these events, and some of these, I think there's the Let's Go Festival in Arundel. I believe the Renaissance Fair is another one that has multiple points of sale. Instead of sending out one inspector, we're sending out 2, 3, 4 on each single day to verify that they are checking IDs, making sure they're in compliance, that their liquor is being purchased properly as opposed to being brought from somewhere it shouldn't be, making sure all the tax rules are being followed. It is, again, it's a significant resources requirement. Each event is going to be different. I'd like to tell you that it's a particular number of inspectors per event, but some have 12 point of sale, some have 5. This ultimately will affect 11 events per 11, I guess, groups, I think is the best way to describe it, that have one-day licenses in a year. And it will allow them to pay a little more reflective with regards to the resources being required to enforce their one-day licenses.
Doesn't increase anybody else.
And it doesn't increase the cost for the other roughly 1,500 or 1,530 licenses that are issued.
Thank you. See, Delegate Howard, please.
Who are these groups? Who are these 11 groups?
Let's Go is one of them. I think the Renaissance Fair is another one. The Renaissance Fair has 19 one-days that they currently have in place. And we've heard numbers between 10 point of sales. We've heard 12 point of sales. We get different numbers from different people. And I imagine it changes from year to year in terms of the number of distribution locations. The fair is another one day that would be affected by this. Seafood Festival.
So walk me through it again. So they, instead of paying for one day license, they would pay for a one-day license for each vendor?
That's correct. Each vendor that is selling alcohol would be required to have a one-day license. The health department does it this way. And it's just trying to kind of get in line with the resources required.
So the vendor wouldn't fall under a one-day license cover, like, so all right, I'm trying to, I'm sorry, I haven't had any espresso this morning. So the Renaissance Festival gets a license, and then the vendors that are at the Renaissance Festival fall under that license. Is that the current structure?
Correct. And we would try to keep it simple as well, to where we wouldn't require each vendor to come in and have to deal with the logistics of it. It would still be the Renaissance Fair getting a license. It's just they would be getting one for each point of sale that they have.
Instead of one, they would have to get 11 different $25 licenses.
They would get one covering 12 locations or 10 locations, correct?
Okay. So what does that do to the cost to the local vendor?
To the local, well, I'm not sure that the local vendor would have any change in their cost. It may be that those costs would be passed along, and that means that they would pay $25 for that day.
Okay. Okay. So it's not revenue neutral.
It doesn't increase our fees. My apologies. Correct.
Doesn't
It
increase the
increases
fee,
cost.
but it increases the amount that would be collected.
Correct.
Okay.
I believe that our estimates put it in around $5,000 to $6,000 additional annually.
Okay. All right. I just wanted some clarification. Thank you.
Thank you. Delegate Bagnell, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. If you could just speak to the engagement you've had with these organizations, just for the edification of the body, because I know that you've been in communication. So if you could just speak a little bit to those conversations.
Absolutely. The staff at the board has engaged with, I believe, all 11 groups involved or that would be impacted. I personally have spoken with the gentleman who runs the Renaissance Fair. The response that we've gotten, nobody seems to be resistant to it. Nobody has put up any significant objections. I think everyone understands the changes. Most of the concern was the individual one-day cost, the 25 not going up to 50, the 50 not going up to 100. Otherwise, everyone understands that the additional resources come at a cost. These events are significant events. They generate significant revenue. Again, it matches the way the health department enforces their permits. Everyone seemed to be pretty positive.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any further questions? Seeing none, thank you. We'll be moving on to House Bill 682, Anne Arundel County Alcohol Beverage Golf Course License and Sports Activity Venue License. Delegate Pruski, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice Chair. And this is the last one for me. For the record, introducing HB 682, which establishes an Anne Arundel County Class C golf course license that authorizes the holder to sell beer, wine, and liquor for on-price consumption at a golf course with at least 9 holes, and establishing Anne Arundel County Sports Activity Venue license that authorizes the holder to sell beer, wine, and liquor for on-price consumption at certain sports activity menu. Again, the intent of this bill is really to provide clarity for that Class C Golf County license. I believe we had prior discussions with this. And again, I want to turn it over to the Board of Commissioners. They can give a little bit more detail on both the need and clarification that'd be helpful with this bill. Thank you.
Abraham on behalf of the Board of Commissioners. Thank you, Chair and Vice Chair. The purpose behind this bill is currently most of the golf venues and sports entertainment venues have tavern licenses. Tavern licenses come with various restrictions that are not conducive to their operations. It requires that everyone that's there be over 21. It has other restrictions involving certain triple sync requirements, whereas, and I think that we always try to use this example because it's a fun one, I guess. There's an axe throwing venue that recently opened, and one of the concerns that they had was, as a result of their tavern license, they had to put in a significant sink behind the bar when their operations don't actually serve any tap beer or glasses. Everything's canned or prepackaged. But the tavern requirements require a 3-bay sink, which required a significant plumbing endeavor for them. Again, this makes the license fit the usage a little better. There is a country club license in Anne Arundel County that many of these facilities, of course, would not fit into because of the fact that a country club license requires an Olympic-sized pool, and not every golf course has an Olympic-sized pool. Again, this allows these venues to get a license that's more appropriate. It allows the people to use the venues better, and it makes the costs for the licensees more in line with their particular use pattern. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to address them now.
Yes, absolutely. I see Delegate Smith.
Delegate Schmidt, thank you guys for bringing this bill. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Chair. First question I have, is there a precedent for this change in the county right now, or in the state? I'm sorry. Are there jurisdictions doing it a certain way?
Anne Arundel has specific licenses for specific uses. We have hotel licenses. Again, there's a country club license. It is not uncommon in Maryland for there to be licenses that are carved out for somewhat specific uses. This is in line with that policy and that practice.
Yeah, and I appreciate the answer. The reason I bring that up, we're dealing with significant changes throughout the entire state, and I'm glad you brought up tavern licenses, because that's part of the tavern licensing versus the brewery licensing. There's all these kind of different classifications, and I think now that I'm serving on the Government, Labor, and Elections Committee, understanding how each one of those classifications kind of works and what the real day-to-day life scenario is each day. So may need you to kind of walk me through that at some point through this session so I can understand a little bit better. My second question, Chair, is Delegate Pruski building a 9-hole course in his backyard to serve alcohol?
Possibility. We have to look into that.
Count me in. Pruski Pastures.
Thank you, sir. Delegate Howard.
Well, I just wanted to thank the bill sponsor for the clarity and thank the board for testifying today. I've been on ECM for a dozen years, and I've had people in the community reach out to me about this very issue, and it is a clarification issue. And so I'm sorry I'm not answering a question, but I just wanted to say thank you to the bill sponsor, and look forward to supporting the legislation.
I appreciate that. Can y'all give us an idea of how many golf courses that this would affect and where they are located?
6 to 8 over 10. It sounds like from what I'm hearing around the table, it sounds like there are about 8 to 10 locations in terms of golf courses that would be affected. And these aren't necessarily places that would get a license that don't have one. Many of them would be that are currently tavern licenses that would switch over to this, which again, it fits their operations better, which allows them to, again, a tavern license requires someone who is 21 to be on premises. This would not make that requirement. Again, people who are 18, 19, they go golfing, they don't drink. With a tavern license, they're not allowed to be there. With the golf course license, they would be allowed to be there.
Yeah, where they located is my question. Where they located based on y'all analysis of the bill?
My apologies, Vice Chair. We don't have that information right in front of us. We can certainly get that for you. We have it. I don't have it in front of me. I don't want to give you the wrong information.
No problem. Yeah, at your convenience. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
With there being no further questions, I yield the floor back to our distinguished chairman, Mr. Pruski.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Great job. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone with the patience and working forward through these bills today. We're going to continue on with the agenda. We have HB 727, Anne Arundel County Alcoholic Beverages Class C Veterans Organization License Membership. This is Delegate Rogers. I'll turn it over to you.
Chair Pruski and members of the Anne Arundel County Delegation, good morning. I respectfully request a favorable report for HB 727. This bill was worked on with military advocates and has full support of the Anne Arundel County Board of License Commissioners. I think you probably have a letter to that effect in the file. This is a local bill that expands our veterans organization's license to be inclusive of all uniformed service organizations, not just the previously indicated armed forces organizations, just as we did last year in the military modernization package that passed in the law. It simply makes changes to be consistent with other Maryland laws. I respectfully request a favorable report on House Bill 727.
Thank you, Delegate Rogers. The Board of Commissioners, I don't know if you want to add anything to that. I think the bill's pretty straightforward. All right, notice by the silence, nothing. Any questions relationship to this bill? Awesome. Thank you, Delegate Rogers. We will move forward then. We are done with the vote and bill hearings for today. Again, those bills that were heard today will move on for voting for next week, and I appreciate everyone's patience. We do have 3 LBI presentations today. As you can recall, we give everybody 2 minutes. I believe Grace Wilson is here on behalf of the school system. So I will turn it over to you first in regard to the Chesapeake High School LBI, if you would present on that, Ms. Wilson.
Thank you very much, Chair Pruski. Good morning, Chair Pruski, Delegate Simmons, and members of the Anne Arundel County Delegation. For the record, I'm Grace Wilson, Director of Legislation and Policy for Anne Arundel County Public Schools. AACPS is seeking support for the Chesapeake High School Field House. This is a 1-story field house that will be used to support athletic and other extracurricular activities at the school. We very much appreciate the previous $1.35 million in funding the state has provided in support of this project, and we're now seeking an additional $1 million to bring this facility in line with the majority of other schools in Anne Arundel County Public Schools. And I'd be happy to take any questions you may have.
Okay, any questions from the members in regards to the LBI Chesapeake High School? All right, and I'd be remiss, by the way, there's been a lot of advocates and students out for this. I just want to thank them, and same with Arundel and all these projects, but thank you for continuing. And now we're going to move on to LBI for Arundel Middle School.
Thank you again, Delegate Pruski. We are also seeking state funding this year to support the completion of a marquee at Arundel Middle School. The school has been working to fund this project for several years and has fundraised over $11,000 to date in support of the project. We do appreciate the $14,500 the state provided in support of the project last year. We are now seeking an additional $25,000 to fully fund the project and allow for its completion. And with that, I'd be happy to take any questions you have on this project as well.
Thank you. Any questions in regards to this LBI? Again, thank you, Grace, and the school system for presenting here today. And we do have one more presenter here today. And again, 2 minutes. This is for Shepherd Pratt. I believe I saw the presenter here earlier.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chair Pruski and Vice Chair Simmons. And members of the Anne Arundel County delegation for the opportunity to present to you today. I do have a very quick presentation I would like to share if that's possible.
Mr. Secretary or Jen, I didn't know if that's something that was shared with us.
Do you mind sending us the presentation so we can share it with the delegation, please?
Yes, I think I shared it the other day, but I
Yes,
can.
we sent that presentation to the delegates.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Well, that's
Damien, if
okay.
you could just present, yeah, that would be good. Thank you.
You got it. I'll walk through it. It's mainly photos of the site. So for the record, my name is Damien Lang. I'm the Director of Government Relations at Shepherd Pratt. I'm joined today by Colette Wolf, the Senior Director of Community Services, and Kristen Ucarito, our Regional Director for Anne Arundel County. Just about Shepherd Pratt real quick, we are the nation's largest nonprofit provider of mental health, substance abuse, developmental disability, special education, and social services in the country. Today, I want to talk to you about our residential rehabilitation program at 1419 Madison Park Drive. This facility provides housing and supportive services to individuals with mental health needs or co-occurring mental health and substance use disorders who are at least 18 years old, with the goal of transitioning them to independent living. Our program offers different levels of care, such as general, intensive, and supported living. Services are tailored to individuals' goals and needs, and often include support with medication monitoring, independent living skills, stress management, relapse prevention, and we help them get employment and education and other social support services. For this facility specifically, we are looking to make critical infrastructure upgrades to ensure the safety, habitability, and code compliance with the home that we have. And the key renovations are a replacement and upgrade to our HVAC system and the installation of a modern code compliant fire alarm system. And we are requesting $300,000 to help cover those costs.
Thank you, Damien. I gave you a few extra seconds because we interrupted there with the presentation, but my understanding is the entire delegation has received the presentation, and like any LBI, they can reach out. But I do want to open it up to the delegates for any questions. Are there any questions in regards to this LBI? All right, seeing none, thank you, Damien. And I do want to just take a moment of personal privilege. I want to thank the school system, the Board of License Commissioners, staff, and representatives, and certainly Damien for presenting here today. We had a very long agenda, and I appreciate my colleagues for keeping their questions to the point, being respectful. Obviously, you know, we try to get through the business of delegation. I just want to thank you. You know, these folks come sometimes and it's nerve-wracking, you know, trying to get in and get everything done. But I appreciate the vice chair for stepping up, and we have bills, and certainly to staff too, Matthew Carpenter, Jen, Mary Cruz, all the folks that make it happen behind the scenes. So thank you. We do have our next meeting on Friday, February 13th. We will have votes on the bills that we had today. And I want to thank everybody for being here today. I did forget to mention, I know that Senator Lamb and Senator Simonaire also were here. So I just wanted to make that as a part of the record as well. Is there any other business to be brought before the delegation today? All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Thank you all. Have a great day.